Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Rachana Prasad. I hope you all are doing well and thank you for being here. So it's time to wrap up my reads of October, and here are the books that I read. I think I read 7 books this month. Many of them were review copies and many of them were pleasure reads. October was not that great of a reading month because I read so many books in lockdown, and I am now back to reading 6 or 7 books every month now. I'm kind of sad about that, but it's okay. As long as I'm reading, I'm happy. So yeah, let's get to the books that I read this month. So the first book that I read was The Girl in Room 105 by Chetan Bhagat. Now surprisingly, this book was a really great read for me. I mean, not really great, but I really liked the story and the way it was portrayed, or the way it was told. I didn't really expect this kind of book from Chetan Bhagat because he writes romance books and kind of Bollywoody books mostly. So yeah, this was a good read for me. So I started reading this book before my exam, so there were like 2 days for my exams and I started reading this, and I really liked it. It kind of took the pressure off me. This year there was new pattern for exams. There was everything was chaos actually. So I thought of reading this book because it was not that big of a book. So I thought like I might finish it in 2 or 3 days, and I did. So this book is about Zara and Kesha, who were in a relationship. They are lovers, right? This is kind of typical Chetan Bhagat thing actually, I think. Zara is someone who used to be with Keshav, and they broke up, but Keshav is still stuck on her. So on the eve of her birthday, she calls him and she invites him over in her room, which is room 105. Keshav reaches there. His life is changed forever, and after that the story unfolds. This was a thrilling story. It kind of gets very interesting. This book was really intriguing for me, and at some point I thought that I found this interesting because my exams were happening, but no, this was really a good story and I didn't really expect this from Chetan Bhagat. And I was really excited to read the second book that came. I think it was One Arranged Murder. Yeah, but I heard many negative things about that, so I don't really know if I should buy it or not. If you have read it, let me know in the comments if it's worth it. But I really recommend you guys this book. If you are someone who is a beginner and want to read Indian author, definitely try this one. And maybe some of you will come at me because I like this book, I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Okay, and this was very intriguing for me. So yeah, I gave it a chance, and good read of October. So the next book that I read is, this was a review copy. This is The Diary of My Love by Disha Sangani. Now this is a love story, and this is another kind of spiritual book that I read this month. So this book talks about Anushka and her life, like how she goes through everything that happens in her life. There are ups and downs. There are things that she goes through. Like how she's very independent woman, but there are some things that are holding her back, so she has to fight them, and how she does it. That's what this book talks about. There is a love story in this book which you will really enjoy, and I didn't really enjoy this book because I thought this was very this was very immature-ish, and very like this is a perfect read for beginners, and this book just wasn't for me. In this book, Anushka tries to explain how life is tough, but you can really get through it if you try. And yeah, this book had some moments when I was really able to connect with the character, and I really like that about this book. And the girl in this book writes journal regularly, like every day, and she wants to write a book. And this was a good read for me. It was not a great read, but I kind of enjoyed it. It could have been better. So if you're a beginner, definitely go for this one. If you're someone who is into love stories which has some message to give, you will definitely like this. The next book that I read is The Golden Bird. This is a non-fiction book. This book talks greatly about India, like everything about India, from education, economic, and architecture of India. So this book was really good actually. I'm not someone who reads non-fiction, but this book was intriguing for me. And if you're even as a non-fiction book, this was really easy to read. It was not like very formal, or it was not very the language was very easy. Language is perfect for beginners. The language of this book is actually perfect for anyone and everyone who wants to read this book. This book is something that every Indian should really read. So I'm going to link down this book in the description with other books, so you guys can check that out. This book kind of gets a little technical in some aspects, where you can get a little bored, but other than that, this was a really great read for me this month. This was another book review coffee that I received, so this was very enjoyable. And yeah, you get to know about so much. You get to know about the architecture of India, the economical point of view of India, and the author has done her research well, and that was very impressive about this book. There are things from past, there are things that happening right now, and there are some things that could happen in future. As the title of the book says, the golden bird, and that means Sone ki chidiya, and that was our India. So yeah, so this book was very beautiful and I really liked to read it. So if you're a non-fiction lover, definitely go for this one. And if you're a beginner, you can read. This book is not hard to read at all. So the next book that I started reading but did not finish is Cujo by Stephen King. So I have read this book, and I was rereading this book with my friend Rahil, but things were really hectic this month, so I couldn't finish it. But I kind of jumped right to the end of this book where all the horrible things happen. I read this book halfway through, but then this book is very descriptive actually, so I kind of got bored. So the part of this book that I really like is the end, when all the horrible things happen, the terrible things happen. So I jumped right to it, and I really enjoyed this book. If you're someone who wants to start reading Stephen King, definitely go for this one. But if you're someone who loves dogs or has a fear of dogs, so I won't really recommend you guys this book. And if you're someone with soft heart, do not go for this book. But if you're someone who likes horrible things and likes the books that shatter you, this book is definitely for you. So definitely give this a read, and you can check the review of this book right here or here. So yeah, now moving on to the next book. Next book is a reread, and it was My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I did finish this book and I really loved it again. It was just like the first time I read this book, but only this time I knew what would happen. But all the emotions that I felt were exactly as the first time. This book broke me again. And yeah, this book is really beautiful. The way Jodi Picoult describes everything, and the way she has dealt with every character is amazing, and that's what I really like about this book. There are POVs of every character in this book. Like there is Anna, there is Kate, then there is Sarah, Brian, and Jesse. Then there is Campbell. POV is given to every character, and you get to know about every character, their perspective of life, their perspective of the case. So this book is about Anna, who is her sister's keeper. So Kate has cancer, okay, and Anna is someone who donates blood to Kate. Anna doesn't really want to do it anymore because this time she has to donate her kidney to Kate, which really gets which really is life threatening. And Anna is just a 13-year-old girl, so she doesn't really know how to take this action. But then she files a lawsuit against her parents, and then this battle begins. The family is shattered. There are so many things in this book that will really that will leave you shook. That's what I love about this book, and this is one of the books that will really blow your mind. So don't miss out on this book, okay? This book is easy to read if you're someone who is intimidated by big books. You don't have to be afraid of this one. Yeah, you will enjoy this book, and I really love this one. I might give this a read third time. So the last book that I read this month is The Girl Who Saw It All by Roop Rashi. Now this is another book that talks about spiritual things, and this book is about Arohi, who is a girl who is a student and who is studying science in her post graduation. Then she goes on to do PhD, and she's doing this cell research for breast cancer. And that was really a very interesting part of this book. I really enjoyed reading about it. So this is a book that gives you a lot of learning. So this is a spiritual read. At the end of every chapter, you will find a message for you, something you can learn from. So if you are reading about Arohi's relationship, there is a message at the end of the book as how you can improve your relationship. If Arohi is going through some stress, there is message at the end of the book that how you can deal with your stress and all. The author has written about stress, self-love, self-discovery, meditation, and right path. Yeah, like how you can choose your right path. And she has also written about soulmates, relationships. So this book kind of covers all the topics in your life, and this book is very intriguing. This book has a fiction side to it and a spiritual side too. So if you're a spiritual lover, definitely go for this book. And if you're someone who wants to read spiritual books but you get bored a lot, so definitely go for this one, because this has a story to it and you will really enjoy reading the story and then learning something from it. So this book is beginner friendly, the language is very easy, so you can definitely give this. I have done a detailed review on this book, so definitely check it out. I am leaving the link up here and in the description, so make sure that you check that video out. So that's it for this video. Those are all the books that I read. I think the book of the month for me was My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I absolutely love this book. And I think I'm going to reread it again. This is kind of a comfort read for me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what books did you read in October and what were your best or worst reads, and give this video a thumbs up. And if you like my videos and you want to see more bookish contents for me, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned till then. Bye.